Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's exciting video is an ADA prediction if their new stablecoin gets accepted throughout the world. Now, this price prediction has to do with their new stablecoin JED that Charles's last video on Twitter gave us a little update about. They have a research paper out on it now. And then, like he said, he talked about his very talented engineer who not only can, type up these research papers, but also include, very complicated math. And not only that, but he can actually implement into code some of the stuff that he theorizes in his research paper. So now to start with, it's the main reason, well, not the main reason, a lot's going on in the news about the euro wanting to have their own cryptocurrency or their digital dollar, basically, on the blockchain and, adopt a lot of blockchain, not only for their financial systems, but also for their medical and their education, a lot like Charles is already doing with Ethiopia and a lot of other places in Africa. So now this is pretty exciting because, if the euro wants to adopt a stablecoin as their, let's say, main form of currency, or like basically a euro stablecoin, or even just a euro digital like dollar or digital euro, this is a pretty big deal. So, right here on this website, we have the euro area money supply, and this is the M3. Now, we'll go over a little bit if you guys aren't familiar what M3 is. You probably hear about the M1 a lot in the news in the US because it has a lot to do with inflation and what's going on with our economy currently and how we're just getting overinflated every day. So now this paper here says the M3 money supply is 14,847,000 euros. But now that is a euro million. So these are in basically it's 14,800,000 million. So basically if you take that number and times it by a million is what you're going to actually get in euro dollars. Now, I have this chart here I pulled up. So this is the ADA price prediction with stablecoin adoption. So the M3 money report on the euro says there's about 15 trillion. So that's, I rounded up a little bit because every website's going to have a little bit of a different number and stuff like that. This is actually reported by the, the central banking system and stuff like that. So these should be pretty accurate, or at least the main go-to. So I just rounded up to about 15 million. So it's 15 million times a million is the actual euro supply in circulation as far as the M3 is concerned. And then, of course, we're trying to really talk about US dollars more. So then there's a current USD conversion rate of 1.18, which will give you 18 trillion USD worth of euro in circulation. So again, this is like, we talked about Europe, trying to adopt a euro stable coin or their own digital euro, So if that's the case, and this is something that maybe that the government might force on their citizens, or, basically try to convert all monetary systems, in circulation into this new euro, digital euro. Something like that could happen. It's kind of wildly speculative, but it is possible. Now, if you had something like 18 trillion US dollars, which is the equivalent of 15 trillion euros, with the 32 billion max supply of ADA, you'd be looking at $563 per ADA. That's a crazy, wild prediction there. But this is possible that they can push this out. And the thing is that, this is kind of crazy. This is a crazy high number here, $563 ADA. That is a crazy high number. But this is, again, is only Europe. This is only the euro dollar or the euro stable coin. Now, if you had something like that and you pushed it more, like, but wait, there's more. You push this to the entire world money supply. So how much money is there in the world? So now this website here, now this isn't really a reputable website, that's something that comes from like the Fed or the M1 or anything like that. But the money in the form of investment derivatives and cryptocurrencies exceeds 1.2 quadrillion. So now, like we talked about earlier, there's a M0, M1, M2, and M3. Now I'm going to try not to make this video too long, but to go into this a little bit, M0 is all physical currency. So that's basically coins and bills. That's it. That's all the M0 basically covers. Now M1 is M0 plus all the money held in demand deposits, traveler's checks, and checkable deposits, and other negotiable order of withdrawals. So basically the M1 contains currencies and assets that can be rapidly converted in cash. So this means it's kind of like, anything that can be sold off quick. Property takes a little longer. Crypto is pretty quick. In a few clicks of a button, you can pretty much be back into cash, or at least a stable coin. So now this, M1 is basically M0 plus M1. And this is what you mostly hear about in the US is the M1 money supply. And that's basically what they're talking about. You know what I mean? M0, the physical coins in dollars, plus M1, which is, demand deposits, traveler checks, and other checkable deposits. So now there's also the M2, which includes all elements of M1, plus saving deposits, mutual fund, money market securities, and other time deposits. These are usually a little less liquid. It means it takes a little longer for you to sell these back to cash than the M1. And then there's the M3, which is M2 plus large certificates of deposits, institutional money market funds, and short-term repurchase agreements. So with all that together, you're looking at the money of investments and everything here, from investments, derivatives, and cryptocurrencies, $1.2 quadrillion. Now this is in the world, everything in the world, which is, it's still a crazy, wild number. But if, 1.2 quadrillion amount of money in the world, and ADA's max supply is 32 billion. You're looking at a $37,500 ADA. That's an insane evaluation. Of course, again, this is all the world. But, Africa makes up a huge. Now, it may not, they're a third world-based country, basically, a little undeveloped. But if ADA were to help them get to that point to where they could at least, be a little better, and they can help their economy. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of ADA, is to help bank people that are unbanked, to help their economy, help them grow, help them, harvest their resources. It's a resource-rich country, which will help with, their basically the monetary system and stuff like that, which should increase this even more. But even if it didn't hit this, let's just say it just got all of Africa and it just hit all of Europe and maybe part of the U.S., you're still looking at maybe half, if not a quarter. Even at a quarter of this 1.2 quadrillion, you're looking at $9,375 ADA. That's an insane gain. I mean, obviously, this is 37x, or 37,000x where we are right now. We're almost at $1. Even if you had something like this, which is 9,000x on your money, that's a crazy high return. Now, of course, this is all long-term stuff. But as the U.S. dollar is getting more and more, inflated, our country is going to run into more and more problems, and we're going to have a hard reset soon. I am one of those people that predicts that, or not predicts that, but believes in, a very serious, monetary reset. This happened back in the 70s when I believe it was Reagan was in office. The inflation got crazy out of control, and the way they fixed it was 20% interest rates. Now you can imagine us going from less than 1% interest rates right now to a 20% interest rate. What that would do to the economy. Even if it just went up one notch, like 1 point, let's say it just went up to 2% interest rate, it would almost shut down the economy completely. And they had to go up to a 20% interest rate back in the 20s, or the 70s, I'm sorry. This is crazy, you know what I mean? What it's going to take. But I don't know if, crypto and stable coins are the answer, but this may help a lot with inflation because there is a max supply. There is no more inflation. That's just not going to happen. But like I said, even if this reached a 32nd of the 1.2 quadrillion, you know what I mean? If it was just, Europe, Africa, and, and the U.S., you're still looking at a $1,000, $1,100 ADA, which is, just an insane price prediction. But that's it for today's video, guys. Just a wild speculation, prediction that, this is in the realm of possibility. How long it will take. I don't want to say if it will or not. It'll just be how long it will take for the stablecoins to be adopted, and ADA's stablecoin of all stablecoins to be adopted. If you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Thanks.